Hi guys, this is Learning to Larp. I'm Simon and welcome to the second part of my series on character creation and character development in Larp. Today we are going to talk about the details. In part 1 we talked about the basic character creation and we ended up with a rough concept for a fantasy ranger, and today we will take this skeleton of a character and add a little bit flesh to it. Please remember, this is my approach on character creation and it might not work well for you. It works very well for me and I've been creating my LARP characters like this for the last 10 years. If it doesn't work for you, please tell me where you encountered any issues so I can learn from you and learn from your experiences as well. This is usually the part where every guide on character creation tells you now it's time to write the backstory of your character. And I say screw that. You don't need an elaborate backstory in written form. Do you know what kind of character has got an elaborate written backstory? Heroes of novels at the end of the novel. But your character is a new character. He or she should be at the beginning of their own narrative, of their own story. Or at least they should be at the beginning of a very new chapter in their story. And so the past of your new character doesn't matter that much. Actually, I think the backstory of a character and the details of a character should fit on a piece of paper this big. You want proof? I'll give you proof. On this piece of paper I wrote down some details to a character, some cornerstones to a character that I find very interesting. And I'll just read them to you. Our character is a young farmer's child. He grew up poor. He doesn't know his parents. He grew up with his uncle and aunt, actually. He has great potential for magic that is still unpolished. He always wanted to go to the big city where the academy is, where young people learn to use magic and learn how to fight. But he wasn't allowed because he had to stay on the farm. He's an excellent bowman from living around a farm and having to hunt rodents. He really wants to go out there and see the world. He is very keen on doing the right thing. He's a really goody two-shoes. He has a childlike sense of wonder. He left home after the bad guys killed his uncle and his aunt. Since that, he's traveling with his mentor, who is teaching him the ways of magic. He is on his way to rescue a princess from who he has got the message that she was in danger and that she was captured by the leader of the bad guys. He also has a secret, secretly, and he doesn't know it himself. He's the son of the leader of the bad guys. And he also has a very dark secret. He made out with his sister once, without knowing, but still it's kind of gross. And if you still not know who I'm talking about, this is basically the outline for Luke Skywalker's character in Star Wars Episode 4. And is he an interesting character at the beginning of the movie or what? Yes, you might say, but Luke Skywalker's character is so much more. If you look at all the films, he's so much more. He's such a rich character at the end of episode 6. Yes, that's right. But in episode 4, this is the exposition. This is what the audience is learning about him in the first few minutes of the film. And you don't have that much time to introduce your Larp character to your audience. Your audience being the other players. You only have a first impression, one first conversation to really introduce your character to them. It doesn't matter if your backstory is 30 pages long and has stories about your childhood in them. Nobody is going to ask about your childhood. Think about real life. How many people have asked you, hey dude, now that we have the time, how was your childhood? If it's not your psychiatrist, nobody asked this kind of question. Yes, you can write an elaborate backstory if it helps you to get to know your character. But if your character concept, if the details of your character are too complex to fit on a piece of paper this big, they are too complex for your fellow players to get it. They have to get your character. They have to go, this guy is supposed to be a ranger. Oh, and he seems to be a goody two-shoes. I like him. And they're not supposed to go, oh, this character seems to be very complex. I guess I will have to talk 2 hours with him about his childhood, so I understand his inner motives better. So my suggestion is, if you need a backstory, write it. But be sure that the cornerstones of your character, that the details of your character, how he is, what kind of person he is, the secrets, the dark secrets, that all these things fit on a piece of paper this big, and you will be fine. That will be enough for at least your first 1 or 2 events. And after that, that's what we're going to talk about in video 4. The revisitation or the revisiting of your character and how you take the first steps into evolving your character. That's it for the details. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time when we will talk about your character's gear. Have a good day. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.